Well, so we have a dilemma. Money issues. People are struggling. People are trying to figure out how to make ends meet. How you're struggling or you have hardship. These are terms I'll be using throughout this video. So let's start. The dollar used to be strong years ago. So strong it beat the other nations. And you could travel anywhere. And you would get a lot for the money. You know? It's almost equal or even more. But things happen. The tariffs are supposed to make us richer, make us stand out from the rest, because they were taking advantage of us all this time, the other countries. And which was wrong. They should have done that. Everything should be equal. Equal playing field when it comes to money. You know? But in this country, you don't get anything in your savings. What are you getting? 0.1% of what? Should you throw the money into a CD? Is that guaranteed? These are money markets. They were popular. There's still some around. No. So a lot of people invest. They invest their money. They want to triple it. But when you're investing, you have to pay taxes. But there's loopholes against all of that. So people figured out a way around. Hey, we'll give money to charity. Yeah, they won't come after us. And that's another loophole there. Charity. And then the organizations, the charities organizations, they don't have to pay any taxes. Churches and everything exempt. But don't want to go too far into that, because that's not what we're talking about. How are you living today? How are you finding everything? Okay? You're finding things tough. Food, gasoline came down in price. Some places gas went back to normal prices. When I was growing up, gas was really cheap, but but those days are gone. You in the 80s, you buy a vehicle to save fuel. Some vehicles were getting 52 miles to the gallon, but you cut out things. You cut out luxury items like a large vehicle. A lot of people can't own a little small car, and they were a little dangerous. I had one. He had no springs. That's right, no springs in the front and the back. It was just truck shock absorbers. I had four-way stabilizer bars. Yeah, I needed it, because if you turn too much, the whole thing could flip. Especially on a bridge, when the wind gusts came up, you would feel it. But hey, and I was getting good gas miles because I had no air conditioning in there either. 4-speed stick, manual clutch. You don't start the vehicle by pushing the foot down on the accelerator. You pull out the choke, then you start it up, and then you have to wiggle it a little bit to get it where you need to be. Hey, they came out with that. It was a foreign vehicle. No, it wasn't Japanese. But it served its purpose. I couldn't get a water pump for it. That's the only drawback. Company bailed out. Company went out of business. Yeah, see? Company went out of business. American Motors. Yeah. They partnered up with Renault. And a Lecar. Don't laugh. The Lecar means the car. Yeah. There was a point I was the only one on the road with one. Hey, but I could get good gas mileage. I could get on the highway, fully loaded, with a cat in tow, coming here. I was getting 37 on the highway. Yeah, no air conditioning. The stick shift. 35 city, 45 highway. Not bad, huh? But no air conditioning, no springs. Really bare bones. Yeah. But today we have hybrids. But the battery is a problem with the hybrid. The battery don't last forever. Expensive to fix those. You have to be really smart. And then you have plug-in hybrids. Plug-in hybrids. You plug it in. Larger battery. Not as large as an electric battery. but you can plug it in. You should be able to plug that in, regen the brakes. So the brakes, when you hit the brakes, they will charge. Okay? Then they will charge up the battery. Limited range, you can go 30, 40. You'd be lucky if you can go 50 with one solid full battery. Those are the limitations. With electric vehicle, you can go up to what? Some claiming 1,000, but I know it's not there yet. So this is where we are today. Money. You can't even buy an electric vehicle. They promise us 20,000. It's almost 2030. By 2030, we're supposed to be using fuel cells. I used to work for a company that made fuel cells for NASA. You know, they made this for the NASA for space. I'm talking about space agency. Okay, so that's all they did is fuel cells, and they were testing out prototype fuel cell SUV. What happened to the fuel cells? Too expensive. Hydrogen, all that stuff. They're not going to go with it. So they went with electric. But electric, expensive. It costs a lot to build an electric vehicle. A lot of problems with electric vehicles. So you're struggling now. You need a new vehicle. What are you going to buy? Gas? Gas was expensive. Gas car, oil, gasoline. Starter has to be replaced so often. The electric ones and the plug-in hybrids, they use the electric motor starts up the vehicle, so you don't have to play around with that little starter that fails after 100,000 miles. I had to get mine replaced. I tell the dealer how much it's to start. He told me it's $1,000. Wow, $1,000? That's labor. I found a place that would do it. A whole place with a bunch of old guys. They know what they're doing. Fix the vehicle. Took them the whole day, but they did it. It cost a lot. But hey, had to be done. The thing is, you're struggling. Now, money. The money is not worth as much as like it used to be. The $2 bill, remember those? I have one of that. I used to do, I'm not ashamed of saying it. I used to do Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. I started with Grubhub first. I did 5 cities. I'm responsible for 5 cities. And there were some rough areas to go to. And I got tired of doing it. It was dangerous. I didn't want to go. I just tried to, but you had to go. So Grubhub, Uber Eats, Postmates, DoorDash, and Kosher24Net. That's a private. That's kosher. So you do synagogues and all that. That's side gig work. So you made money, right? Well, you gotta work hard. You gotta start from 7 in the morning. I finish around 4. I didn't want to do the night shift because it's too dangerous at night. You gotta do it at night. Different crowd at night doing deliveries. You don't know where you're gonna go. I try to stay in my area, which is more safe than to go into a city. You go to a city, there's no place to park. What I'm saying is this: it's a lot. Can you make money doing that work? Yeah, but it's a lot of work. You have to work 7 days a week. You got to a point you forget what day it is. And you go, you pick up the order, as long as the order is put together, because the people behind the counter think you work for them, but you don't work for them. Your job is to pick up the food, the drink should be made, you don't make the drink, and you deliver it to the customer. If it goes well, and you did your job right, you get a big tip, and you get cash tip. That's cash tip is your petty cash. If you get a tip from the credit card, that goes into the bank. The checking. You should have checking and savings. Savings is for your bills. If you own a house, you put all that saving money. The money comes out of the checking. You put, and goes into the savings, and you save up to pay your property taxes. The checking pays all your bills, your gas, your electric, whatever it is, your cable, your streaming services, if you want that. That's up to you. Everybody's different. Some people don't want all that stuff. But if you have no other means of entertainment, you're going to have something. If your whole life is internet and you barely use the aerial TV or cable TV or fiber TV, which is basically cable, if you don't use nothing like that, or satellite, remember, you can't forget about that, then you rely a lot on the internet, and you have to have something hooked up to that internet. Coaxial cable company, or some of the cellular, the CSP, cell service provider. Fiber is FSP, fiber service provider. And then cable, it could be S too, but it's cable service provider. So they're providing you internet. Some internets are faster than others. I can tell you from my years of experience with cable, going to fiber, fiber is very fast. You're getting 1,000 up, but they slow it down to 940 megs. There's a way to get around that, but you have to have the equipment to do it. Once you get around that, it's 1,000, 1.3 up. That's 1.3 gig up if you're under 1,000, and 1,000 down. That's great, right? Yeah. But why you need all that speed? Well, it depends. If you're running a business from YouTube, you need, and I do 4K. These files are not small. These are huge files. Yeah, so, and you need the best quality. Why would I set up lower quality? And you get full stereo too. You get high quality with me. 10 bits sometimes. It depends. I go all out. But the thing is this. You gotta work hard. You gotta make the money. I used to work in Fortune 500. Well, actually, higher than that. $1 million, $1 billion, $1 trillion. Big financial companies. When you go to work, you don't have to worry about lunch or breakfast or dinner when you have to work late. They took care of it. They have catering. Yeah. I used to work for the casinos. IT. I know what IT work. I didn't work the machines and stuff. Learn a lot of tips about how to at the casino meet the right people. But I'm saying, I worked hard. When you go work at the casino, you're leaving United States territory, you're going to Indian territory. So the rules are different there. Okay? So you got to be, everybody's nice. No sad faces, smiling faces. That's what they want. I understand. It's very good, pleasant experience for me working for them. Okay? Let me work for government companies, right? But lately, I was working for big banks. Huge banks. Okay? Where you have to have $1 million to walk in the lobby. Yeah. I have pictures showing that I'm there, so people don't say, "Hey, I'm working," like that. And I worked by myself. They put me as a surveyor, but they had equipment. I did such a great job, I got promoted to a lead. And how did I do that? Because I know what I'm doing. I tell them, listen, I'm not going to disturb you. You're going to be productive still. No, you don't have to leave. And I had a system. I did everything excellent. And my system was 100% accuracy. I was very good at what I was doing. It was a great opportunity. The reason why I don't do it anymore, it's a lot of driving. 200 a day, maybe more miles. You put a lot of miles. Doing the food delivery and all that stuff, a lot of miles. I used to do catering for DoorDash. Paid more money. But again, a lot of driving, a lot of wear and tear in the vehicle. It's expensive to repair, but I repaired. I decided not to do it no more. I went back into IT and worked there. But then, same thing, a lot of driving. Before the pandemic, I could have become a Tiger lead. They would take care of the hotel, give you $50 for food, to take care of the plane, take care of the rental, everything. Could never get it. But anyway, they kept me working with the same company. And I got high ratings. I know how to work with corporate. I know how to work with executives and administrators and executives, all that. You treat them like you treat everybody. You treat them with respect, and you do that. I learned a lot from them too, especially the financial, how to make it in America today and how to make it work. Okay? I usually do that practice today. I keep petty cash. I'm not saying you can dig a hole, put in a sack and drop it in there and you forget where you put it. And you try, where did I put this? You put a little metal marker there, beep, 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 you know where it is. Or you can put it someplace in the house. And you put it anywhere. I met a lady that had a wad of cash and she said that was her petty cash and she did anything she want with it. That's good. And I had something similar to that and I still do that today. So you have petty cash, that's money that's coming in. Then you have you have tips and stuff like that coming in. That tip money goes into the bank. That money pays. That you never really see it. Some people say to me online, say, "Hey, you're doing such a great job. You gotta go further. Here's something. Wow, thank you very much. I don't know who it is. Yeah. But when that comes in, I don't really see it. It goes into the system, who gets their hand, if, PayPal, each one gets their piece of the action. Then it goes into your bank, and boom. And the bill got to be paid, so it goes right out like that. And that's the system. Now, as you get older, you can get health insurance with the government. Because that's another subject in itself. So this one is just to help tell you that the world is different now. The money system's not going to last forever. Like I said in previous videos, that's going to disappear. Okay? All right? And the system that they have in place, they know what they're going to be doing. That's why they get into that nanotechnology. They're getting away from a lot of things we're doing now. We're still using barcodes, scan it. Because that's how your packages, when your packages come into these warehouses that deliver I used to work for two of the major ones. You scan it. They unload the trailer. You scan it. It goes into the system. They scan it again. They put it in the truck. It's like that. Sometimes stuff comes damaged. I used to have little slogans for the two major ones, but I'm not going to go into all of that. But listen, it's tough. My advice: don't work for warehouses. It's rough and brutal. And those people 75 years old. I said, "You're retired. What are you doing here?" Well, you have nothing else to do. I gave them all advice. You should not be here. Get out of here. Some of them had no teeth, cut up, bruised. It was a very harsh environment. Chemicals, some of the stuff you have to deal with. It's very toxic. I used to come home, my feet are black and blue. It's rough. But, like I said, you have to do what you have to do. That property taxes, that's number one. Everything else push back. Credit cards, remember, those are loans. They're loaning you money. Be careful with credit cards, okay? Your bank debit card, that comes right out of your bank. Okay? Don't go frugal, okay? Frugal means you are frugal with your money. Now, some people are stingy, some people are greedy, some people don't care, but some people save. Hey, if they save, they're doing the right thing. You're saving your money. You don't want to have credit card debt because you have so many cards, you have to pay it off, and it adds up, some of those interest rates are over 30%. You got to be careful. That's a lot, 30%. And then, my system is this: if you owe $1,000, okay, or $4,000, say you took the credit card to pay off your property taxes, you say, well, then why would you do that? If you didn't have the money, you'd use a credit card. And okay, so they gave you $7,000 when you pay the almost $5,000 to the property taxes. You see, wait a minute, where's the money? They drop it down to $6,000. Then you're trying to pay it off. They keep dropping it down to the amount that you owe them. Well, that's dangerous because they can do anything they want. They can lower your credit. They don't care. No matter if you paid it all off. They don't want you to pay it off. They want you to pay the minimum. I pay 5 times the minimum. So if the minimum was $41, 5 times that. That's what I sent in. If you had some of the money for the property tax, you would send that to the credit card company. They drop that down. Because remember, the first year, if you have the card and there's no interest, you want to take advantage of that. Send as much as you can. So me, I'm down to less than $1,000 now. I can just pay it all off. That's the end of it. What will happen? They don't like that. They don't like you. They don't want you to do that because they need to make that money. That's the whole thing. The same thing with a loan. You took out a equity loan on your house, the value of the house. You can't just pay it, send it back to them. No, you have to wait. There's a grace period. Yeah, so just remember, and you don't want to take out those kind of loans if you don't have to. If you pay off the mortgage and you own this house straight clear, that's great. That's what a guy used to tell me at one of the big major banks. He was a big shot. Actually, he controlled the whole place, the whole where I am, the whole area, the whole district. He was higher. They respect me. He told me. He said, hey, the bank wants me to take out a loan. I said, do you need it? No. I said, don't do it, because you get caught up in the loop. No. They give out money all the time. They have financial services and they have Commonwealth. Commonwealth is for those who have million up, billion, trillion, like that, whatever it is. or quadrillion. That means you got so much money you don't know what to do. So, what should you do today in 2026? 2026, save that money, put it away, keep some in the house in case of an emergency, because you don't know what's going to happen next. I could tell you what's going to happen, but that's not going to happen now. It's going to happen later down the road, in the hundreds, thousands a year. The money system we have now, it's going to be gone. So what we're going through now with the money system, stocks up, stocks down, stocks up, stocks down. You have to worry about all that all day long. Why? Oh, how much did I make? How much did I make? What's going on with the stock? Then there's a crash. A lot of people lose a lot of money. Oh boy. I can't tell you. I can tell you what to do, but that's up to you. But the thing is, if you're struggling, you got a good job, but no job is no guarantee. My father, he worked so long and he got his pension. Pension is, he get 3 checks, with the pension, and then it goes down to like 1 at the end. Then if anything happens to him, it goes to my mother, and at the time, and she would get something from that. But imagine you did contracting all your life, you don't get anything. You know that. But if you made a lot as a contractor, you have to make at least $80,000. Then you're set for life. But you got to put into the system and play the game with the Medicare, and it's not an easy system. So all you get out of Medicare, Part A, free hospital. The second one, you still have to put into it. So why can't we get the same thing that Congress and the United States and the President and all of them get? 100% fully covered. Why are we only 80%? Why is everything 80%? And we're responsible for 20%. Who came up with that scheme? That's terrible. But that's what's happening here, It's tough. We gotta fight. The currency we have today, $1, the $2 bills, some places $5, $10, $20, $50, $100. Cuts off there. They used to go higher than that. $500 bill, $1,000. I used to work at a bank teller. I was trained as a bank teller. Yeah, and people came into the bank and said, "Hey, I want to withdraw everything." Oh, sure, yeah, we can do that. The bank manager, he said, "You should stop them. Listen, they are moving out of the area, and that's their money. They should get that money. Why would you keep it? That's not fair. They want the money." Oh, you're not authorized to make those large withdrawals. They had like 300,000. It came out, this computer system allowed it, so what the heck? I didn't say, "Oh, you can't do it," restriction. So I didn't understand it. It didn't make no sense. That bank didn't last too long. And they've been in business for 1800s. Then they got taken over by another bank and another bank. That's a terrible. We still had money with that bank. So we used to get 5% on whatever you got in savings and checking. Remember those days? And sometimes you would get a gift, like a toaster, a blender, a food processor. Those days are gone. You don't get nothing. They don't even get a cup. You don't get a pen. You don't get nothing. Everything's changed. It's like you're how the banks stay in business. They don't give you no interest in nothing. They want you to take out a loan. They keep saying, "Hey, we can give you a loan." Oh, we didn't know you own a house. What do you mean? I told you when I opened up the account. There you go. They're typing it into the system. Listen. The best thing to do today, have your savings, have your checking. The most you should keep in that checking is no more than, don't keep $2,000 or high. You keep it enough to pay the bills. You should know how much your bills are each month. Okay, your water. Now some states, I was staying in another state where they paid it every 3 months for the water. Here it's every month. They got electronic smart meter out there in the water. I know what you're saying. Everything is they went high tech, smart. So they don't have a guy driving around or somebody to read the meter. Open the little metal thing and read it. They just drive by and they pick up the signal and it tells them how much the water's coming out. Same thing with the house. They put electric smart meter on there. So people used to put a magnet or something to kind of slow it down. I remember where we used to live. The guy upstairs was a police officer, and they jerry rigged everything. I said, That's how electric bill is really cheap, $20. Wow, that's pretty good. And then we have natural gas too to heat up. That natural gas and the oil, boy, it's expensive. If you live up in the northern parts or you need oil to heat up your steam boiler, it's a lot of money. In the south, we're not out of the water yet because in the south it's different. If you live in an area where you have to have central air conditioning is your central heat too, so it blows it out. Some people have radiant heat. It's like an electrical system. They heat up the house too. Okay, but most houses have like a steam boiler, and it fills up the copper pipes, or you might have a cast iron heater, the old type from the 20s. Those are good, but there's a pain in the neck system. Because you need to build up that pressure. Those things they go bad. They use them in coal. You shovel up the coal, you put it in the boiler. You shovel up the coal and you put it in the boiler. So they converted those to diesel oil. Yeah. I'm gonna give you a tip. Marvel Mystery Oil. I was up north, and the house I was in, they had two 75-gallon tanks. It was at that time it was $1,900 to fill up those two tanks. Yeah. So I got it in my head. Marvel Mystery Oil. I pour it in. It depends on how many gallons per each quart that you put in. I can't remember. I think I bought 6 and 2. That's half. And it was enough. There was 3 and 3. 3 quarts and a half went into one tank, and 3 and quarts and went in the other tank. When I turn on the brand new Smith steamer, right? I'm on the Smith brand, because the old one, when we got the house, it failed. It heat up the house. The house was hot very quickly. I had no problems with that. That's my idea with that. Yeah. But hey, if you use that technique, that's up to you. Okay. All right. But the thing is this: you have to make a go. You have to make your money. You have to pay the bills, and every day, and that's it. If you even do YouTube, it takes time. You have to get 1,000 subscribers. You have to have 4,000 watch hours. You have to, and you have to keep at it. Keep at it. Some people have 100,000 subscribers. At that rate, are they doing good? They have to keep going. Million. Some people have 1 billion. They're still doing it. So stop and think. If they're doing great, why are they still making videos? So you gotta think. But you could do good if you know how to do it. And if you do good, that's good. But there's a lot of obstacles along the way. It's not easy. This is not a channel for that. This channel is to help you with yourself, help you understand self-development, and like this with money, frugal. Because I have another channel, we're talking about frugal and the money more into depth. This is more of a highlight of what you have to face with when you're dealing with money and currency. And should you travel today? Can't travel. I have family I like to go see. I like to go to Scotland. It's an expensive trip. Just to go from here to another state right now, it's a hassle. Because only one plane, there was only one plane that went there, and I can't stand flying that plane. And I know you get points. And the way you have to, everybody is boxed in, so they have this Comfort Plus feature where you have more room. You can wiggle in your chair. You can recline the chair. You can watch movies. You can do all kind of things. And you get a free drink. Hard liquor. Okay, and you get better service. But you have to go to the hub, run down, take an express train. You're rushing for that because the plane that comes in, your plane's you might come in gate 50 and your plane's way down at 10 on platform A and you came off platform D, so you have to get how do you get there? They have a train system in some states, so the systems, I have to get down to that train all the way down. It's a pain in the neck. There's no seats. You're holding onto the rail and it jerks like this, and you have to go through all this hassle. So why travel? Because then you get to the airport, it's the same routine with the TSA. You have to go through the same. I take everything off. Everything off that's metal. I couldn't have this on. I couldn't have none of these on. Everything is on. Belt, everything. And you go through, you have to put your hands up like this. It scans you. No. We want to check. It's all right for the pat. I still have to pat down. I took everything off. What else could it be? We want to check on something. Oh, man. I don't want to carry no belt. I don't want to carry nothing that you have to deal with, because you don't want to deal with anything. I remember when I first went there one time, I had, because I'm a healer, so I carry things around my neck and stuff like that. So, like crystals and stuff like that. Things like that, and this stuff. But, you can't. You can't go on the plane like that. It's be completely stripped down. It's a pain in the neck. And when you get on the plane, it's not like it used to be. It's different now. So, to travel overseas is very expensive. Just to travel domestically, it can cost you $1,000. Say I had to go from here to California. Flying, back, hotel, bus, whatever it is to rent a vehicle. I stay in a nice hotel. Because I ain't saying no crappy hotel. It has to be nice. Nice. I want a king-size bed. Some have a nice living room and a kitchen built in. Why would you want all that? I don't want to stay in those little rooms. I want to be comfortable. You have a TV. I can bring my streaming service stuff with me. I can plug it into the TV. Yeah, I do. I bring all that. And I don't watch the hotel. I just take my remote, go, I can watch YouTube, and I can relax. Oh, and I still can film. I haven't done it with this channel yet, but if I was traveling, I would still film. You still get a video from me. Yes, you do. Oh, yes. I'm not going to let traveling stop me. Gonna go with another video. Stay in a hotel room and do the video and send it up. Yeah. You have to have a good cell service for that. It costs a lot of money today to do a lot of things. And this video went over a little bit, but it's to help you understand about the money system and how things are today. Credit card debt, take care of that first. That's important. If you can send more than the minimum, it's great. Because otherwise, it's going to take a long time. Like a $5,000 loan, it could take a couple of years. I'm doing it in less than maybe 2 years and a half. I'm done, almost done. I think I only have one more payment. I'm done. Listen, I don't care. They don't like it. I don't want that high interest. There's the minimum, and there's this hidden interest fee. They have it hidden. You don't see it. How do you see it? You have to go dig into it. It's a shame how they do it. It's terrible. And you don't have so much time to pay it. The longer you wait. Now, when I pay it all off, guess what? That hidden fee will pop up. Oh, you have to pay this. Debit cards, gotta be careful. I usually use my debit card to buy gas. They have the skimming thing, so you put it in. They can read and take money on your debit card. So you switch it to credit cards. Those credit cards are more safer because they can catch it and stop it right away. The debit card, if you had a good bank, they'd catch it. But then you have no money. You can't use anything. How you get gas for the vehicle? You got to be careful. It's very difficult now. You got to make sure the machine doesn't look tampered with. There's a lot of restrictions. So protect your money. Protect yourself. Travel, well, that's up to you if you want to travel. You got the money, but it's expensive. There's no bargains anymore. There's no deals. All that's gone. Whatever price they want, that's it. You can fly. Cheap economy. They're throwing you back of the plane. They don't care about you. You can first class. I've been first class. It was fun, but it's expensive. Get anything you want because you're flying first class. Comfortable seats. Or you got business class now. You got a bed, shower in some planes. You live good, but it's very expensive. That's like a $3,000 plane flight. Whew. That's expensive. I never tried it yet, so I don't know. I just see. But listen, even if rent a vehicle when you get to the destination, and if anything happens to that vehicle, you got to take out that extended warranty. If they offer it. Now, your car insurance might cover it. Some car insurance, they don't cover that. So you better off taking their insurance, the rental insurance. They shouldn't ask you about your car insurance because you took out their insurance. So be careful with the little scheme there. Okay? So because you took their insurance, They have nothing to do with your insurance, because your insurance is not going to pay them anyway. But they don't need to know that. They do that as a backfill. Well, we don't want to pay for that. Let his insurance. But you paid insurance extra for that. You might use your club card to rent a car, and it's a whole different ball game with that. So, and the club credit card as well. The top of the line card, so you get money back. You get back a lot of money, okay? But you really don't get that money back. It goes back. They give you, so you use it back at the club. So that's money in the club. They're not going to give you extra. Take that money, you can do whatever you want. No, it goes back into the club. See what I mean? But you can use that club money to get things like that. So that's how they do the clubs. Okay? I think I covered everything. If you make it to a certain age and you can pay off that house, pay off the house. 30-year mortgage. You don't want adjustable. Adjustable, bad mistake. It's a fix, so it's locked in. Pay down as much. It's tough. It's tough. If you can pay it all off, pay it all off. I tell people, if you have the money in the bank and you can buy the house, buy it. It'd be better, because you won't have to pay a bank, because the bank owns the house. No matter what you're doing, the bank still owns the house. Yeah, and they can take it away from you. Just like your vehicle. If you rent, lease the vehicle, because you don't own it. The bank owns it. And if you don't pay up the monthly, the bank can take that vehicle away. The repo man will come at night and take the vehicle away. So that's how all that works. So it's a little different now. So, should you buy anything? I really don't buy nothing. I can't. Doing YouTube, you have to use a lot of people use their smartphone. But it can only do so much, and it's not designed for a multitude of recordings. You see something here. This one does, but this gets hot. Okay, we're pushing 37, and they have a multitude of batteries. And multitude of cards to record on them. Yes, you need multitude of batteries. I built my own battery. I'm good at solar, so I built my own solar unit. That's another story. But I'm very smart. I'm a very highly intelligent man. I'm very intellectual, very smart. Also, I'm a developer. I've done a lot. I'm not somebody just come on here and talk. I'm giving you real-time advice, and real, honest, good advice, and it's true advice, and it's nothing else. So what's ever happening with money, be careful. Take care of your money. Make sure if you only buy what you need. Don't buy anything. You don't have to buy. Some people buy designer clothes and sneakers and stuff like that. No, I just get what I can get. Sometimes Kohl's have stuff dirt cheap. They market raw and you get it dirt cheap. I'm wearing Adidas and it didn't cost that much. You don't have to buy fancy stuff. Make sure it's real cotton socks. They're throwing a lot of polyester, rayon, and everything out there, making things cheaper now. There's not like before. 100% cotton was the best stuff to get, but there's not. It's rayon and there's other names I can't pronounce. I don't know what they are, but that's our. But you gotta do what you got to do. Okay. Hey, if you found this video helpful in your life decisions, and especially in this what we're talking about, should you buy something or should you buy nothing? And how should you manage your money? That's what this is about. Hit that subscribe button. Channel's trying to grow. It's still growing. Actually, I'm at my channel right now. Let me make this. I gotta turn off the volume. Okay. So, but anyway. Yeah, so hit the subscribe button, okay? Thumbs up. I'm growing. Got 10 videos. This is video number 11, okay? But getting there, it's not easy. Okay? Thank you very much. All right. It's time to go. All right. You'll see me again.